Hello everybody, PatsPlatesPv TV live again from the Aduana offices here in Mexico City. This is our third day, our third visit, and we think we got the right information regarding tip extensions. So tip extensions are only for temporary residents. So if you're a tourist or a permanent resident, stop watching, all right? Temporary residents, okay, what happens typically is that when you enter into Mexico as a temporary resident, they give you a 30-day tip, a temporary import permit for your vehicle. You pay a deposit. Then what happens is you go to immigration. What they're saying here, the head of the office here is saying is that you have 15 days for Mexico City to receive your tip extension request from the date that your temporary residency card is issued. So if you go ahead and came into Mexico on the 30th, you have a tip valid until the 30th, and you go ahead and do your appointment on the 22nd of November with immigration, and they give you either your card or they give you a letter showing some process called a NUT letter, a NUT, N-U-T letter. You need to send that letter, right, a copy of that letter or of that card to Mexico City ASAP, all right? You send that letter or the photocopy of your card along with the photocopy of your tip, along with a photocopy of your passport. That's it. Those are the three things that you need to send them. We'll put the address here in the comments. Okay? This is super important. They need to receive that within 15 days of that letter or card being issued. That way they can go ahead, check with immigration that it's valid, and to notify Banjercito that not to lose your deposit. So that's the biggest thing. An issue does come up. We know, especially here with Christmas coming up, that people go ahead, they drive in on the 1st of December, the 5th of December, and they want to go to immigration, but immigration is closed for the holidays. So immigration is closed typically from, I don't know, let's say like the 18th until the 2nd or the 3rd or something like that. If your tip expires prior to that date, there is no exception, they're saying here. There's no exception whatsoever. Your tip's expired. Your vehicle's in the country technically illegally. They can take your vehicle. I haven't heard of it happening yet, but of course you don't want to be the first one. So in that case, if your tip expires, the correct technical thing to do is to go ahead, drive back up to the border, cancel the expired tip, get a new tip. Now that new tip will match the expiration date of your temporary residency card. So if it's 1 year or 3 years, or you came down here to regularization and it's 4 years, that tip will match that period of time. All right, so you're all set. No need to worry about that. If you do a regular temporary residency and you get the 1 year, you have typically, I believe, they recommend starting the renewal process for your 3-year temporary residency card 30 days out, so get on it right away. That way you can go ahead, get your appointment, and get your new NUT letter or temporary residency 3-year card to go ahead and notify Aduana here in Mexico City. All right, you're gonna DHL it to them. The address is Mexico City. All right, so keep that in mind. We hope this helps you. Don't bother going to the local offices anymore, to Puerto Vallarta's office or wherever you're at. I've heard some of you say, hey, I'm an X-Stop has never heard of this, they don't want to do it. There's a lot of churn on the staff to get new people in. They've never heard of tips, they don't know what tips are. The right way to do it, send it directly here to Mexico City to the main offices, and they will email you acknowledgement of what's going on and the status of your tip, whether it was extended, whatever's going on. And then also in the comments or here, we'll go ahead and put the email. With the email, you can go ahead and contact them regarding if your tip doesn't show up, because we know some clients with older tips from 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago, it just disappeared. It's not in the system. And I asked the boss here and they just shrugged their shoulders. You know, the tip doesn't exist, the card doesn't exist, it's technically illegal, but for sure go ahead, email them and find out. Let us know what you find out. Let us know your situation. Thanks for watching PatsPlatesPv TV Mexico City Aduana edition. All about the tip. All about the tip, baby. Bye.